When I first learned about my guest and what she does, I just had to meet her. The combination of books, children, and roots, how beautiful is that? There's something touching about creating for children, and when meaning and purpose are added, it's a win-win for parents and children alike. Giving children stories to learn from and a time to bond with parents stimulates the mind and makes memories for a lifetime. Let's learn more about my guest, talent, and vision, and ask her 10 questions to my extraordinary guest, Saria Hanna Moutran. Hi, Saria.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
I'm passionate about books, and what better to start with children?
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so please start telling us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. I have a background in marketing and communication studies, but I have always been very much attracted to illustrations, arts, and my family history on my mother's side are all into education.
Oh, really?
So I think that somehow it got to me without realizing.
Yeah, you blended it all together.
Somehow in the back of my mind, even though I never thought I'm not attracted into being I'm not into teaching, let's say, but somehow it all blended into doing what I am today.
Yeah.
And when I was pregnant.
With
twins, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to me. I started going into bookshops only to look for beautiful children's books.
Oh,
so this started when I was still pregnant.
Okay.
And then when I gave birth,
right.
I became obsessed. So whenever I used to travel to Paris, to London, I just used to, instead of shopping for me, like I used to do before having children,
Things
I used
change
to,
when you have children, right?
I used to go and try to find the most beautiful books for them. And do a small collection, and this passion grew. I mean, the more my children grew, the more this passion grew. And one day I told myself, "Khalas, this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
I would like to write children's books."
Right.
So this is how it all started.
Okay.
And then.
I just want to say something, because you said something very interesting, that your mother's side has a background in education and how it stayed with you. And just like you're doing these children's books, you want something to stay with them also. So subconsciously, obviously, it'll stay with them, just like education stayed with you.
Exactly. I hope so anyway. So I think two things happened when I was a child.
Yeah.
I mean, one, having a family in the education. Actually, three things. And in education. Second, I have a mom who is into storytelling.
Wow, that's so nice.
Not storytelling as we know it today.
Yeah.
But let's say we used to spend an entire day together. Going to the supermarket and simple things. And then when we came back home, I used to sit next to her to listen to her explaining the day to her sister on the phone, because it used to be so entertaining, more entertaining than the actual day.
Right.
So this is the storytelling part.
Her perspective about the whole day.
Exactly. It was so entertaining.
Really? Okay. So you like listening to stories?
So I love listening to stories.
Okay.
And what was my third point? I forgot. It will come back.
It'll come back.
It will come back. Yes, I had a collection. So when I was a child, I had a collection. I was around 10 or 12 years old. I had a huge collection about personalities who did great things in the world. And really? This, I think, stayed with me somewhere.
So this will bring us to the theme of the books.
Exactly.
Yeah, so explain to us the theme of the books and why you chose this one.
So it was 4 years ago. So I was passionate about books, and I wanted to write something, and I was looking for a theme. It was obvious for me that I wanted to do something about Lebanon. I'm in love with Lebanon. So this is what I wanted to do.
4 years ago, this is like just in the middle of all the chaos at the time.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was just in the middle of the chaos, and my kids were 3-4 years old. And they were feeling things. They were seeing that their best friends were leaving the country, and they were asking questions. So I think that I wanted to do something about Lebanon because I them to love Lebanon like I love Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then connecting the dots always.
Mm-hmm. With books and education.
With books, education, inspiring them.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I want to write the stories of big Lebanese personalities.
Mm-hmm.
People, women and men who did something big in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Whether in arts, in science, whether they are known or not.
Mm-hmm.
I want to write about them, and I want my children and their friends to be inspired for life.
That's quite a vision.
So
it is. It's
this is
beautiful.
what happened.
Yeah.
And when I mean, when I started thinking about this, it was so clear for me. C'était une évidence, we say in French.
Yeah.
So
it was evident for you to continue.
Very
this path.
evident, exactly.
That's great. I'm so happy you did it, because when we
Exactly.
go into further, people will understand why I'm saying this.
Thank you.
So what makes children's books so special? I mean, you could have written for young adults or even for us, for the parents to understand, like appreciate our own country. So why choose with children? Why start with
Because
children?
children are children.
Yeah.
We can... They are curious.
Mm-hmm.
They are inspiring. They are inspired. And I wrote something in the book about the roots. So whenever we plant a tiny seed in a child, it will eventually grow, whether at the same moment or a few months later or a few years later. It stays and then it grows.
They're like sponges.
They are sponges.
Yeah.
So this is why. And then it's beautiful. Children's books are artistic as well.
Yeah.
So we have the illustration, the wording. It's poetic.
It is very poetic. That's true. And as I was researching about this, there's so many advantages for children to start reading at an early age. What about reading with your children? What is so special about a parent sitting with their child and reading with them?
So many advantages, really. For example, so I'm going to talk about
your experience?
My own experience as a mother.
Okay.
So my own experience as a mother, when I come back, I mean, after a long and tiring day, if I take a moment to read for them, even for me, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Because it cuts a moment in time, it stops, and I only think about what I'm reading.
It's mindfulness a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even for me, it's therapeutic. And then for the children, it opens up. I mean, from your living room, from their bedroom, they just travel the world, travel
especially right before going to sleep.
Exactly. They travel in time. They travel into countries. It's
through history, time,
exactly,
space. Yeah.
Exactly.
And all the fields possible.
Exactly.
Yeah. No limits.
Exactly. And other than this, of course, scientists say that it's important for language learning, for bonding with the parents. I mean,
communications,
creativity.
Yeah. Empathy. I was reading about that. They'll start feeling with other people also. Yeah,
exactly.
It is a special moment with a child. I used to do it with my kids, and you remember it.
Exactly.
You remember it so much. Do the children go back and they read on their own? Like when you read the book for them.
Okay.
Will they go back and look at the book by themselves later
Mine?
on?
Yeah. Mine, they have a bed. I mean, it's a children's bed, so it's not that big.
Yeah.
And half of the bed is eaten by books.
Oh, yeah?
So they have their own little library inside the bed that they created.
Yeah.
So either
that they created.
Yes, of course, not my idea for them to
okay.
sleep. No, they just created it. I can send you pictures.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love to see.
So they even sometimes I notice that they're not really reading. They are just looking at the pictures, but I love it as well. So
yeah, of course, it just keeps the mind creative and imagination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this, I'm sure, when a parent reads to them, they will go back and try to remember the story that was read.
Do they ask a lot of questions?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. You can't imagine.
Yeah.
Things that are so easy to grasp for us.
Yeah.
For them, it's a question, and sometimes I don't know how to answer because, well, I don't know how to answer this question.
It's so simple and so great at the same time.
Exactly.
Their questions, yeah.
Exactly.
And do you, before, like, when you're writing a story
Mm.
and you're thinking of the concept and everything, do you discuss it maybe with your children?
So, like I said, I write books about big Lebanese personalities.
Mhm.
So at first, I do my own research.
Mhm.
There are so many, so
Wow.
many. So
That's
I
so
do
nice
a
to
huge
know.
research, and I try to do one in arts, one in science, one humanism, or
Yeah.
and then when I pick my person,
Mm-hmm.
I do an entire research on them, and after that, before starting to write, I start telling my children the story.
Yeah.
I mean, we're having lunch, we're having
Right.
dinner, we're just sitting. I tell them, let me tell you the story about, I don't know,
Look-
Leia,
yeah,
Karim.
yeah.
And I start telling them the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then I notice either they are interested or sometimes they ask me questions. I'm saying, oh, that's an interesting question. Let me
Yeah.
add this detail to the book.
Right.
Uh,
So they're like your advisors.
Yeah, without knowing, they are. They are. And then often 2-3 days later, they come back to me and they tell me, tell us again the story.
Oh, really?
Tell us again the story that you
Okay,
told.
yeah.
That you told. And
Yeah.
then when a friend comes to their house, they are so proud because they're
Of
proud. This
course,
product is
yeah.
for them. So,
Yeah.
so they tell them, yes, my mom is writing a new book. It's about this. So I hear their explanation,
Yeah.
which helps me reorder and rearrange the story and rewrite it in children's terms.
Mm-hmm. They say that the best way to learn is to teach.
Yeah.
So when you're teaching your kids and then they teach to somebody else, you can understand if they really grasp
exactly.
the,
So
the
they are.
idea.
My twins are definitely part of my team.
That's amazing. Yeah. It makes them feel good too, knowing that. I
Yes,
think.
yes.
Do you feel like there's a difference? Like they're still young. They're almost 7.
Almost 8 actually?
Oh, almost
Yeah.
8. Okay, I'm mistaken. I'm sorry. So do you think at this age there's a difference between girls and boys? Like, would it be different if you heard something from a little girl, what she would tell you?
I don't know. I have 2 boys, but from what I see, definitely they're so different.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. I will start telling the story to girls.
Yeah, I don't know,
That's
but
a
it
very
seems
good
like
point.
it seems like your boys.
Mm.
I mean, since a young age, they're open-minded because that's how you.
Exactly. But I like
yeah.
I like your perspective.
Okay, we'll see. You let me know about that.
If they let me invite their girlfriends, I will do the
Yeah,
test with them.
That would be the perfect start with the girlfriends. How do you find the Lebanese legends? I mean, do you search? Do you ask people? I mean, how do you choose the Lebanese legends?
So I do. I of course online, Google, blogs.
What do? You Google Lebanese legend? What do
No,
you do?
I what do I do? Famous Lebanese.
Ah, okay.
Lebanese in science.
Oh,
Lebanese,
okay.
most famous Lebanese, and so
Yeah.
many bloggers write about famous Lebanese.
Really?
So many you wouldn't
Okay.
expect.
Yeah.
And some of the newspapers as well. So old articles, and my first 3 books. My project was still a little bit secret.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really talk about it to everyone. But
As a small circle.
to very small circles. So
Yeah.
I used to. I mean, and some people have more information
Yeah.
inside than them others. So I used to ask people who.
Okay.
And they used to give me names, and I write them down, and then I do my research.
Mm-hmm.
Now, wherever I go, really, people are passionate about the subject.
Really? It's
So-
like the energy is coming back to you.
Wherever I go,
Yeah.
Whether they know about what I'm doing or they learn
Yeah.
at the same moment,
Yeah.
they are so passionate about it.
Uh-huh.
Whether young or older or in their 70s, 80s, in the 20s,
All
Wha-
ages.
all ages.
Okay.
When you say Lebanon and when you say big personalities, people are so passionate about it.
Do you think because of everything that's happened, they
I'm
need
sure.
something to connect back to the country to give them a little bit of pride on their roots? Or
I think because it's a magical country that we have.
yeah, yeah,
Whether it's because of all the struggles or its beauty,
yeah.
but we have a magical country, so
The people make it magical also.
As well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's magic, so we don't know really the ingredients. But
We
it's
don't
magic.
know. Yeah, because
it's
magic, nobody knows
exactly,
what magic is
it's
about.
magic. But you
That's
have a
a nice-
magical country.
Yeah.
And they love it. I can tell you that. That's a very strong bond with Lebanon. It's amazing. I can feel it every time the subject is open about personalities, about Lebanese
Really?
legends.
You feel like people, even those who've left the country, like even after 10 and 20 years, there's something inside them that keeps stirring them about the country, that they want to come back and feel the connection again.
Yes. We all feel it.
So what is the importance of these stories of the legends that you write?
I don't understand it.
So when you're writing these stories of
Okay.
these legends,
Okay.
what is their importance? What is their value of writing these stories? Because actually, I'll give an example.
Okay.
We don't have the book here, Danny Thomas, but Danny Thomas, he's a famous actor in the United States, and he always connected to his country. But not many Lebanese know about him. So you're highlighting Danny Thomas in one of your books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want children to be proud of their roots.
Right.
So my mission is to make the Lebanese children, wherever they are in the world, because there are so many in the world, to be connected somehow to their roots and be proud of their roots. And as well as inspire them to dream big, to work hard. It's inspiring.
Yeah.
So
work hard and dream big. Those are very two key elements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So inspiration and the love for the country. Yeah.
What's interesting about your books, and which is very amazing, is that they're written in 3 languages. Or you write them in French and then they're translated to English and Arabic. So they're available in the 3 languages because Lebanese are so fluent in these languages.
My dream is to do them in Portuguese, and I mean, it will come, I hope so.
Maybe for the Brazilian Lebanese community.
Exactly, this would be my dream.
Yeah, there's a huge community over there. You write it in French, like we said, and they're translated into English and Arabic. Tell us about the illustrations. Why don't we start looking a little bit at
So, to choose to choose the illustrator, it's Saria Haddad. Right. It took me a while. So I did I remember it was 3-4 years ago, and I did this huge presentation on PowerPoint with 10 or 15 illustrators, and I asked parents and children to vote.
Oh, you did that?
Exactly. And the votes were separated.
Okay.
So I wanted to have a parent point of view and the And after sending 10 or 15 illustrators, I picked 3. And from the 3, I did my own selection, and I contacted them. And my illustrator is Saria Haddad. She's,
they're so beautiful.
Look at talented.
It is, and it's captivating for children, and even we enjoy looking at the pictures. And some of the pictures are inspired by real pictures from real life.
Before starting to draw, we do a research on what people used to wear during this decade, let's say. For example, Charles Malik here, he used to live in Lebanon, but then at one point he traveled to Egypt, and here he's reading his books. So we do research of Egypt, of how it looks like, how people used to dress. So this is a general...
Historically realistic.
Exactly, on generally. And then as if we have pictures that's very interesting, and we can add it. So here
I'm trying to remember the one with the children around the table. Is it in here? It's okay.
Yes.
Here, you can find it. Yeah. I was saving a page. We'll talk about it in a second.
So, for example, this one.
Right.
This one is taken from a real picture.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It was a black and white picture. So we did an illustration, and another one that I completely...
It's 1948, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the other one that I love...
Oh, yeah, this is the one I was looking for. Right.
So the day the Declaration of Human Rights was out, there was a huge newspaper that was talking about it. And we have a picture of a group of children around it.
From all races.
From all races, exactly. Even this little crown here, it's in the picture.
Oh, I didn't notice the
It's
crown.
in the picture,
Right.
exactly.
The real picture is on your account on Instagram.
Yes.
So we'll put a link to the
Yes,
account. They can
sure.
go see it. Right.
So even this is the ground. It's not our imagination. It's really there.
Yeah.
So yes, we try to, as much as possible, do it, giving a realistic illustration of what's going on with Sasha style, of course.
Yeah, with Sasha style, which is childish and creative at the same time. I saved the page about the recipe for success. You probably know. There it is. So in each book, there's the person, the legend's recipe for success, which you added like right in the middle.
Exactly. So somewhere in the middle, or a little bit more than the middle of the book, whenever our Lebanese legend does something big, so it's the beginning of his success, I write down his recipe for success, and it changes from personality to personality.
It does, yeah.
From legend to legend,
Right.
it changes. So for example, for Charles Malik, he wrote the Declaration of Human Rights. Obviously, there are a lot of books, so he read a lot of books.
Right.
Determination, courage, intelligence, hope.
Yeah.
So for every book, for Fayrouz, for example, we have patriotism, dreams. And the purpose of all this is to teach children that they have to work for their dreams.
Yeah.
We don't just dream and then one day it will happen. So
yeah, that's very important because children these days think things are very easy, which
and
they're not.
I put it around the middle, not at the end.
Yeah.
For
That's interesting. I want to ask you about that.
Because so I always put it when there's success. This is always. But then I realized that whenever there's success, there's an even bigger success later that comes if you continue to work. So this is why it's in the middle of the book and not at the end.
Oh, that's very philosophical.
I know.
I hope the children will understand that
Maybe
later
not,
on.
but it's okay. I do believe
it's a subliminal
exactly.
message.
It's a message.
Yeah.
It's a message that this is okay, but the story didn't, and he continued, and he did, and he thought, and he.
That's why I enjoyed the book so much, I'll be honest, because it has a nice flow and it's interesting, and even the parent learns.
I'm the first person to learn. I learn a lot.
Yeah,
it's
it's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Nobody tells us at school. I grew up in Lebanon. Most of my life I was in Lebanon.
Right.
No one told me.
Yeah.
No one told me that Charles Malik, this is what he did, or I knew somewhere, but I didn't know how. And
I thought the most interesting detail is how the mother had 10 children and she was telling stories to her kids before going to sleep. Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so inspirational.
Exactly.
We were talking about how parents like to read the books. What books do you like to read now in general?
Children's books.
Yeah. That's it, you're addicted?
I won't lie. I like children's books.
Right.
Yeah. And as well as bande dessinée.
Not comics. I think comics.
Comics.
Yeah,
yes.
comics.
I mean, right now, as a mom, my attention span is quite sometimes short, especially at the end of the day when I want to read.
Yeah.
So I used to read these big books. But now I need...
you need to relax.
I need to relax.
Yeah.
So this is why right now it's not very intellectual. I'm into children's books and comics and
proud
of it.
You do so much research during the day, so this is a way to lighten up the load and everything.
Books, I just love it.
Oh yeah, you do.
I love it.
I learned so much from my kids' books when I used to read to them. Even vocabulary and stories and about people, exactly like what you're saying. Any authors that have influenced you?
That's a very hard question.
Like, what did you like to read when you were younger, for example?
Of course, Paulo Coelho. I used to love reading him.
As a child, no.
No,
But
I mean a young adult or teenager.
Okay.
As a child, I used to love Martine and Oui.
Oh yeah, that's right. I used to Oui with his bell.
Oui and Martine. I think Heidi as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is me as a child.
Yeah.
I used to have a huge books about wildlife, the human body.
Oh, scientific.
Scientific, I mean,
Wow.
but very, very big ones with
Right.
nice illustration
Yeah.
and big text. So I think this got me
Do you think that this is a
attracted.
good way to get children off screen? How do we bring them to us to get the children off screen? Because this is a huge problem in society right now. And even if you'll say, come, let's read a book, at first they're like, no, no, no. So how do you bring them to you?
I mean, again, this is my own personal experience.
Yeah.
You have to be firm.
Right.
No more screen time, no more screen time.
Okay.
Because screen is addictive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have now the scientific numbers, but it is addictive.
Yeah, it is addictive.
So this is why we have to be firm. No more
Right.
screen time. So I wouldn't say, but I wouldn't say stop the screen and come read the book, because this would be negative.
Okay.
Okay, so no
Right.
more screen time. Go, enjoy life, play,
Right.
create something.
Okay.
And I always realize when I say no screen time, so they will start nagging for a few minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
What will we do?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what? You have a brain, you have hands, you have
Yeah.
everything you need. You have all the toys in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all the books in the world.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what to do, I did my best.
Yeah.
You go and
You find something to do.
Find something
But that's
to do.
very interesting. I'm happy you said that. Like, not get off your screen so we can go read a book.
No.
Because that's very. It has a
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Okay.
And yeah, and for the book reading, it's as well. I mean, some people put it right before their in the bed their routine. I don't do this.
Oh, you don't do this.
No, because my own bed routine is quite serious.
Okay.
So just you go, you eat, you have the bath, and you go.
Oh, okay.
But whenever during the day they feel
Yeah.
like it or I feel like it, let's
Yeah.
read the book.
You have time? Because during the days are busy.
It takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes sometimes. You have
Okay.
to make it simple.
Yeah, make it
Yeah,
casual.
and now right now mine are starting to read.
Uh-huh.
So as well as reading in front of them makes a difference.
Right.
If they see you taking a book and reading, they will do the same immediately.
That's funny how you're making it casual to be reading,
Yeah.
as though so that they can do it anytime when they want also, and not just
Yes.
has to be at a specific time,
Yes,
like right
yes,
before
it's casual. Definitely casual. It's
Yeah,
fun. It's a good
right.
moment. And never compare screen time to books. Of course, screen time will win. So,
Yeah, no, that's a very interesting way to think of reading, like any time during the day. Yeah, I like that. Let's just say 2 extra words of how important reading it is for kids. There's so many, it's linked to literacy, it's linked to children who are more poor, read less. I just like to emphasize that because it's so important, and we want to encourage reading as much as possible. So any other like advantages do you know about reading?
creativity.
Yeah.
It helps with writing, reading, and speaking.
Yeah. Communication, yeah.
Empathy, like you said before.
Yeah.
Bonding with the parents. I mean, my kids now, they know how to read. Okay, they're slow, they do mistakes, okay, but they know how. But I still sit with them and read because it's bonding time.
Yeah.
And then they start asking questions about the world, about love, about these
Yeah,
questions, and it
yeah.
opens up to so many different subjects, and it's important. I mean, they spend most of their time in school, most of their time with their friends,
Right.
So when we come open a book with them and listen to their question and answer them, it's a window to who we are as parents as well.
So it opens the lines of communication between parents and children.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes them comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as well as culture, it's playful, it's, I mean, it's rich.
Yeah,
it's a rich moment.
Rich. It is a rich
It can be
moment.
5 minutes, 15 minutes, but it's rich.
And it stays for a long time.
And it
It's
stays.
intrinsic.
And then they go back, they open that book and they read again.
Yeah.
And what do I do to encourage as well? So at school, daily they go to the library and they choose their own books and get them home. So, okay, so the rate is very fast. So I'm very aware that they are not reading the book every time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Maybe they're looking at it, maybe they read a few pages. Probably next year they will.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And then when we go to a bookshop and they want to buy something, I let them buy
The book that they want.
the book that they want.
Okay.
Even though it's not my choice. So I choose one
Oh, that's
and
a
they
good
choose
idea.
one.
Right.
Or maybe this time I will choose something, but next time they will choose something.
Okay, that's a
It's
good
okay.
idea.
Even
Yeah.
mine are boys. So I mean, they will go to the books that I wouldn't choose.
Yeah.
I mean, you will have a car and...
Yeah, well, that's what they like.
And, you know, and the
Yeah.
visuals are not that nice, but it's okay. Let
Yeah.
them buy the book with the car.
Well, we like to choose our own books too.
Exactly.
We wouldn't want somebody to impose a
so
book
let
on
them.
us. Yeah.
Exactly, let
Yeah,
them. And
yeah.
like this, they will develop a love for books.
It'll teach them how to think on their own also and
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
Does the Lebanese diaspora know about your books?
So, like I said at the beginning, I did this project I said it's a nice project for me. It's nice for my kids and their friends and de bouche à oreille. It's
Yeah.
fun. But the reaction when I launched it, it was crazy. I have, and this is thanks to social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I have orders from Australia, I have orders
Really?
from
That's
Portugal,
great.
from Colombia, from... It's
Wow.
very diverse.
That's amazing.
And that's amazing.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I told you the
incredible.
love that Lebanese have in their
Yeah,
heart for
yeah.
their country. It's not me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a small part of it. It's the love for their country.
It's also because it's so well done.
Thank you.
We have to say it's so well done. So if people want to reach out to you on social media.
So my Instagram account is Head in the Stars World.
Mm-hmm.
And the website as well, headinthestarsworld.com.
It's out already?
It's out.
Great, congratulations.
Exactly. So it's out and...
So my last question that I ask to every guest, what makes the ordinary extraordinary?
Can I say magic?
Of course, it's
Magic.
your answer.
Magic and emotions.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I want, Saria, I asked you, because there's something that's so nice that you write at the beginning of your books.
Okay.
And I just want to ask you to read it.
Okay.
And we'll end the podcast with this.
Okay.
Because it's so beautiful what you wrote here.
So starting this one.
It's up to you.
Okay. So there are two gifts we should give our children. One is roots and the other one is wings. My hope for the Bright Lebanese Legends collection is to plant a tiny seed in every Lebanese boy and girl's heart, no matter where they live, a seed that will make them proud of their roots and give them wings to fly.
Thank you so much. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to the next Lebanese legend. Did you want to tell us about it, or we'll keep it as a
Still
surprise?
a little secret.
Okay. We're waiting for the surprise. I can't wait.
It will be out mid-June.
Oh, so close.
So close.
Yay.
So maybe the podcast will be out. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Saria, for joining
Thank
me. I
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And we're looking forward to the more good news coming and more Lebanese legends.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Saria.
Okay.
Thank you.